Let's go explore supernatural British Columbia's west coast in style. Maple Leaf Adventure's newly refitted 138-foot catamaran has got rooms on 3 different levels and a hot tub on the top. Guests are free to wander around on the ship and visit the captain in the wheelhouse, the engineer in the engine room, setting up the systems, or visit the galley where individual dietary needs are met for each guest. Of course, local seafood and top BC wines are featured. A well-stocked library and experts on board, along with the expedition leader, set out the daily plans and the upcoming trip. The evening is a great time to have a glass of wine, maybe sit in the hot tub, look for wildlife along the shore, or enjoy one of the evening presentations. Maple Leaf has a long history of working with the Haida people. This gives an interesting access to some of the special carving sheds, as well as cultural and festive events. Guayhanas is the national park that occupies the southern third of the islands. It has the UNESCO historical villages that are hosted by the Haida Watchmen. They protect the sites, bring the buildings and carvings alive with their stories, and give a clear understanding of where Haida culture is going today. Coastal First Nations at Kayakwat gave us a great traditional cedar plank salmon barbecue on the beach. The cedar on land is as important as the salmon in the sea to the First Nations, from an art form as well as the utility of clothing and baskets. We got a chance on board to try weaving some ourselves, and it's far harder than it looks. Our guide Ben literally wears his Haida pride on his sleeve. 2 purpose-built skiffs are quickly unloaded from the top of the ship to give us close access to both the bays and shoreline hikes. There's no road access in this area, and the weather tends to limit the number of visitors who come in by boat to a very short summer season. But that short summer is fantastic with light winds, blue skies, and calm seas. The skiffs give us great access to land-based activities, from the hot springs in Guayhanas to eating sea asparagus off of a tidal flat, low tide, the mail run at Kayakwat, the amazing walks through the original growth forests, and seeing evidence of the various forms of life that abound in this area. Drifting at low tide in these skiffs is like being inside an aquarium in this fantastically rich and unpolluted water. We quickly capture a wide variety of underwater animals, and after a brief description, a few photo ops, we return them back into the bay where they came from. Some bays get a lot of trash from winter storms, which we help clean up. Sometimes prawn and crab traps are set out. Let's go pick this one up and see what happened. Yeah, some beautiful crabs for dinner. Kayaks stored on top of the ship are easily offloaded for quick trips. They're inflatable, easy to paddle, and more important, very stable. Being so close to the shoreline is beautiful. The wildlife, the sea life, the colors, the textures. It's a photographer's dream and is both peaceful and exciting at the same time. We can explore shallow rivers that even the skiffs can't get into, and are warm enough to have a swim, or in the sea have a swim. You may wish to channel your inner yogini, or if you have a saltwater fishing license, try some nearshore rockfish, or cod, or halibut, or a little bit further offshore, salmon. In this case, Chinook salmon, a wonderful 19-pounder that made for an extremely fresh barbecued salmon dinner. The really fantastic photographer's moment, though, on this ship is spotting whales isn't too tough when they come right up beside the ship. This pod of orchids clearly announced their presence to these seals on this rock. Seal is their main food, and they rose out of the water doing a spy hop to have a look at them. It was amazing to see it happen again. The rich waters don't just bring orcas, but abundance of seabirds. Deep upwelling currents that create the fish balls that attract the seabirds also attract humpback whales. They do a variety of feeding patterns, including fin slapping to stun the fish and gulping down massive amounts of water where they filter the fish out through the baleen in their mouths. Offshore Brooks Peninsula is the second windiest spot in Canada, Solander Island. The upper part of the rocky island has seabird nests, including puffins, and the lower part has a huge stellar sea lion colony. The huge males can be over 3 meters long and over a ton in weight. It's a photographer's dream to watch the incredible interactions between these huge, intelligent animals. Although hunted to extinction, They were successfully introduced by breeding pairs from California, and now over 2,000 otters live in the Kaykwat Sound area. Mats of hundreds of males live in the kelp beds, lying on their backs eating crab and shellfish, and spending most of their day either eating or grooming. Rock flipping at low tide is a great way to find a crab. This healthy looking fellow though will leave no leaf or log unturned. The strength of this bear is amazing as you see him move a rock that's almost the size of his body. Crab, I guess. But wait, I hit the jackpot. The west coast of BC seems near and far at the same time. It's near because it's near Victoria, it's near Vancouver and Seattle and the millions of people that occupy those cities. But it's far away in time and it's far away in distance from an access point of view. It has a culture of people that are going back 14,000 years and a tragic history where they were almost decimated and are now coming back and are proud of that history and are proud of where they're going with it and are sharing their culture and stories. It's a coastline of hope, from the return of the near extinction of the sea otters to the protection of the whales and their increasing numbers. Cascadia is the intersection between culture, comfort, and nature, and is a great way to experience the wild west coast of British Columbia.